just got off the phone to a great past client who asked me a question. They said, does adding a pool add value to a property in the Mount Barker area? They live in Mount Barker and they're just tossing up whether or not they move or whether they look at adding a pool into their yard. And they've had a quote, it's not a massive pool, around about the 60 grand mark, and they're just weighing up whether that's a good investment. And it's a question that I answer very differently today than what I used to. Years ago, pools definitely didn't add value in our area. A big part of it is that we get a lot of this kind of weather that we've got today where it's quite wet and cold and you don't get to use it as often as like the eastern states. But I think as Mount Barker has grown so exponentially, it's brought a whole different group of people into the area with different ideas from other areas and different things that they like in a property. And if you did like a Google Earth view of Mount Barker now, you would see significantly more pools in backyards than what we used to. So my view on a pool in Mount Barker is that it definitely does add value, obviously depending on how you do it and where you put it and what style of pool that you put in. The only thing that I would say is that you may not get all of the money that you put in back as instant equity. So putting a pool in always has, in my opinion, what I like to call a lifestyle tax, where you're putting the pool in because you want a pool in your house, like not in your house, in your yard, like in your backyard. So it's part of, your family's going to use it. It's a big part of your lifestyle. It's a lifestyle tax. You're not going to put a pool in to try and flip a property in Mount Barker. That would be a terrible strategy. But, I think that you would get a majority of what you invest in a pool back in equity in a property. Plus you get something that you really want in your home. And at the end of the day, that is what it's all about. When you have a home that you're trying to add value to and you've got no plans to sell, it's a great investment to do that. Particularly as well, I guess, on the back of the budget with how people are starting to really view their own home, if they're lucky enough to own one, that it's a tax-free asset that they can continue to put things into to make it better and better for their lifestyle. So my view is that a pool does add value in Mount Barker if you're that way inclined. What do you think?